Hello, I'm Pam Hoffman, Everyday Spacer.
I'm Jeff Miller, 2049 Outfitters.
At Everyday Spacer, we show regular folks how to personally and directly participate in space exploration, science, and astronomy. We're here on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific Time, 12 midnight Eastern Time, and 1 p.m. Saturday in Hong Kong. Sorry. We're broadcasting live from Thousand Oaks, California. Thank you so much for joining us. Tonight's topic, Stardust at Home. We'll be right back in 6.8 seconds, though. So, Jeff.
Yep.
Talk to me about Stardust at Home. Is this like SETI at Home? It sounds very similar.
No, not really, because in SETI at Home, they used your computer for doing the processing, whereas this is looking for dust particles, and they've determined that the human eye is actually better at it than a computer.
So they want to use your human brain as opposed to your computer brain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
Yeah. And so if you could show that.
Yes. Oh, right. So Jeff has a bunch of slides. Let me go ahead and set that up. And here we go.
Yep. Okay. Stardust was a vehicle that they sent out to go through the tail of a comet. Belt 2 was actually the comet. And this is a picture of one of the vehicles, or of the vehicle, sorry.
This is an artist rendition.
Yeah, artist rendering, yeah. And I have a number of pictures of the artist renderings just because I couldn't decide which one I wanted. But they had two collectors. This collector here is aerogel, which is something that Pam's a fan of. She likes aerogel.
It's kind of the round thing sticking up there.
Yep. And this one on the front here is an aluminum foil collector.
Okay.
And so it's two different types of collectors. These things on the front, these are just bumpers for the solar panels.
Okay.
To protect the solar panels from, and here's another image. This is from the bottom where you can see the foil collector there, and right up in here is the aerogel. And
hello, Christina. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, hi, Christina.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
And so another view of it, and this is the actual thing, not a cartoon.
And it looks like it's in a clean room, and you can see people in there, so you have a good comparison. It's actually pretty darn big.
Yeah, and we looked at this. I don't think this is JPL, just because the clean room does not look the same.
It does look a little different.
Yeah. And it looks like they've almost got it packed together. This one solar panel up here is not quite there. But you have a good view of, this is where the aerogel is, and that's the return vehicle for it. And these
the aerogel's inside of that, and that's right. Like the what do they call it?
The capsule.
I had the word before. It's the ablative surface. It's shoot, I'll remember it.
Heat shield.
Heat shield, yes.
Yeah, that's what the white
and
is.
I asked you, I said, that looks like the heat shield, and sure enough, that's exactly what it turned out to be.
Yep. And this is a good view of essentially the bumper that protects the solar panels from, because they're going to be basically careening right into the tail of a comet.
Right, yeah. That's got to be pretty abrasive, really.
Yeah. And this is another view where they have the solar panel extended. And, here is where the foil collector is, and this is where the aerogel is hiding, because they don't want it out to get pinged by everything, unless they're going through the tail of the comet. And this is what it looked like when it got back.
So that heat shield did its job, and it protected the aerogel with all of its payload, and it just ablated away. So, and we saw before, it looks like it's about 2 to 3 feet in diameter, right?
Yeah, just in that view with this guy here. If you look at this compared to his torso length, yeah, that's a pretty big hunk of metal. The aerogel itself is only about 40 centimeters in diameter, or 16 inches. So it's much smaller. It's basically fits in the middle of here.
Hey, David, welcome. I can't answer that question very well. But we're glad you're here. Very cool. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Hey, David, I didn't know you guys celebrated Cinco de Mayo a day or two late.
Pretty much everybody does, but Mexico.
Okay, and so for finding the dust particles, they created Stardust at Home.
And here's the link.
Yep. And so this is the main website right here.
And this goes right to the home page of that site,
Yeah,
yes? Okay,
yeah.
good.
And they have a scrolling thing here, and this one is talking about the aerogel, and I showed it because, of course, Pam likes aerogel.
I do. I think it's cool. It's cool stuff.
And we get to the about where they talk about doing this. And now I read somewhere else that they had 200 scientists looking for dust particles. However, this states that they only have 2 microscopes.
Hard to divide that between 200 scientists, huh?
Right. And so they acquired or borrowed a scanning microscope that created multiple images, and that's what they want us to go through.
Ah,
To
okay.
look at them. And so
this is really important work. I mean, this is stuff they brought back,
and
now we have to figure out what it is and see what it did. Where
right.
how to see it in this material.
Right. Yeah, and it's not just comet material that they're looking for too, because they also popped it up. They also popped it up. Comments. Okay, someone showed up. Oh, okay. But they also popped up the detectors or the targets in interstellar space, because they're also looking for interstellar dust particles.
Right, yeah. And they found some, right?
Yeah, they found 4.
4 pieces already. And that's something you can look for too.
Yeah. Well, you won't be able to tell interstellar from comet dust, just from the photos. But when they go look at them and do chemical analysis, then, they'll be able to see, to tell what it's from.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And this talks a little bit about the Stardust mission itself. And this is where I got most of the stuff that I told you about earlier, which is also on their site. And getting started. This talks about what we're going to be doing. Lots of stuff. Now there are 2 different collectors here, the aerogel and the foils.
Okay.
And so I decided to take a look at both of them.
All right. And it sounds like it's like 2 different projects. You could, work through either one or both, right? Okay, got it.
Yeah. And they're different signups too.
Oh,
so this is the sign up for the aerogel. Now they ask for username or password, but they don't, and no username, start here. You can't create a username and password for this until you test and register.
Oh,
so
okay.
The first link is Finding Stardust, which unfortunately just takes you back to this page. So not that useful. Second link is tutorial session. And so that's what they're showing here.
Oh, cool.
And this talks about how, a dust particle that pings into the aerogel, goes this far. If you looked at it from the side, if it's coming at an angle, it might be a much longer track. So it depends on the angle that you're looking at it. And the size of the images.
Hey, Alan. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, hi.
You must be friends with Cliff Watson.
The size of the image is 480 microns by 360 microns.
Okay.
And since there's 1,000 microns per millimeter, that means it's about half a millimeter by 1/3 of a millimeter.
Wow, that is tiny.
And so for those of you who aren't from Australia, this is an American quarter for reference. And so the size of the image that you're looking at is from a space. If you take a look, the E on the Liberty that's right here, they blow it up, and this is a portion of the bottom bar of that E.
that's
and
the
this is
size.
Yeah, this is the size.
The actual size. Okay.
This is the actual size that they're blowing up for us. And they're blowing it up by 120 times.
Wow. Okay.
And so we get to the tutorial, and there's a number of these, and they want you to look for different types of things. So you're looking for the track right here. And can you see that track? Yeah.
No.
But what they have is they have 20 or so stacked images that are basically focused at different depths.
Okay.
And so by hovering and sliding your mouse down, up and down this, you can choose an image of various depths.
Wow.
And this next one goes here, same image. I'm just about here on it. And if you notice, the track is right there. And so that's how you look for the tracks.
Okay.
Because they're because of the size of image that you're looking at, you might not have the top of the track in your image.
Okay.
And you're to click on the lowest portion. So what you do is you hover up and down until one portion, the lowest portion in which any of this is in focus.
Okay.
And that's the lowest portion, and it turned out to be right there.
Wow. So you can find the tracks. Do you actually see the particle inside the track, though? Oh, okay. Interesting.
Not that I've seen yet.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So, and then this is another one. This is actually a dust particle that's on the surface. And the way to distinguish that, and you don't mark it as a track, is you scroll down, and if it gets blurry as you're going down past the surface, it's a surface feature.
Ah, okay.
So you ignore that.
Got it.
And another thing to ignore is this dot up here is dust on the camera. And you can tell that because as you scroll up and down, it does not go out of focus. So it's the same amount of focus anywhere you are. So
okay,
you can exclude that. And then unfortunately, the other 8 to 10 images on the tutorial are broken.
Ah, that's too bad.
Which makes it hard to take the tutorial, which is both good news and bad news, because when we get done with it and continue to the test, it says right here, testing and registration is currently unavailable.
Ouch, that's too bad.
Yeah, and the link is not clickable.
So David says he needs another link for the show because it's not really coming through for him. So let me go find that for you, David. And thank you for letting us know. Appreciate that.
Okay. So I decided to see if I'd have better luck with the foil. So same thing. In Stardust, yeah, it takes you back to that page. Tutorial. You'll notice here that the tutorial is completely different because you're looking for a surface texture. You're not looking to dive into it.
Okay.
And so you're looking for craters on the foil, which they likened to a shot of craters on the moon to craters on the foil. I don't really see too much of a similarity there, but hey, they're stuck in an office all day, so I guess they can see that. And these are examples of what the impacts look like on the foil. And the main distinguishing feature between all of these is a round circle with a dark interior. So anywhere you see an impact will have the light circle with a dark interior. And these aren't like 25 of the different types. These are just, they tried to get a comprehensive set of images just to show you the types of things that you might see.
Cliff had a thought for, I presume for David, right? Check your video settings at the bottom of the screen. And maybe it's set to 144, not 750. And hopefully David got the link for the YouTube, version too. Okay, thanks so much, Cliff. Really appreciate that.
So then we go on to the actual tutorial,
and this is the foil.
We were looking at the foil. Again, really small portion of the foil. But see here, this has the white circle and the dot. And they're pointed it out so that you can see what you're supposed to be seeing.
Cool.
And in this one here, really tiny white circle and dot. And this groove here is just a scratch in the foil.
Well, it's under a microscope. You're going to see all kinds of stuff like that. The
Yeah.
surface and the scratches and everything.
And you just have to kind of know that there's going to be portions of it that you can't see.
Okay.
And then here's another one. Now they call this a particularly clean surface. I don't see the difference between them, but maybe there are some that are really, really messy. And so they probably picked relatively clean ones for the tutorial just so that you could see what they want you to see.
And I'm sure experience will give you that perspective on, how clean it is really.
Yep. And so you go on, once the tutorial's done, continue to the test. And this link actually worked.
Oh, cool.
So I could take the test.
Uh-huh.
There. Good, David.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yay, I love it.
Hi, David. I'm waving. And so this is one slide of the test. I'm not going to go through the entire test, but just to show you that, yes, I found this, and yes, it was correct. Yay. They also had some images in the test that were, there were no particles on it, just so that you could show that you weren't looking at it until you found something. You were looking at it and knowing and noticing that there wasn't anything there.
Oh, okay. I did it already.
Okay. And then we get to where you can actually create a username and password. And so
I did too, David.
Was that last night or the night before?
Both.
Yes. Okay. Oh, that's right.
We've been celebrating Cinco de Mayo and Siesta Mayo, and maybe tonight too.
You haven't celebrated yet, which doesn't explain
why
you're giggling.
Not yet. I'm amused. What can I say?
Yeah. Oh,
but this is a pretty serious project. I mean, they want you to pass a test, and I mean, tell us a little bit about that part. I mean, I forget what I read, because I did read that whole about thing, but that was like a week ago. And it sounded like you could get bumped, or I forget what all was.
Basically, they want good data. They don't want to be crawling through fixing your mistakes. So they want good data. You pick stuff, as long as you make good choices, and you're not the only one looking at a particular image either.
Right. Yeah. It's just like almost all the other ones. They have some number of people looking at the same exact stuff. So you get, a whole sample set, and just instead of just one person that could, be a single point failure, basically, like we used to say at Boeing. So they'll cover for each other, basically, right?
Yeah. And if you're an outlier, they'll look at it.
Oh.
If you're an outlier and wrong, that's the negative point. If you're wrong too often, then they really don't want to look at your data.
Oh, yeah. So if you need to take it seriously too, if you go and try this. And I think it's a really cool project.
Yeah.
And do they get to name these? I forget. Were they talking about naming the particles?
Yes, you can actually name the dust particles.
On, man.
If you're the first one to find it.
Got it. Okay.
You can name the dust particle.
All right. That's a big deal, naming stuff. It really is.
Yeah, and I have been told that I'm not allowed to name it Dusty McDustface.
Well, you could try, I guess. However,
but
I have a feeling they might reject you.
But so here is, once you sign in, you go to the virtual microscope.
Okay.
And this is it. And
wow. That's the actual, you're in there, not the tutorial. Okay.
Right. You're in, and you can say no crater or bad image.
Okay.
And I did about 20 of them. No crater in most of them, and 3 of them were bad image. They were either totally whited out or totally black.
So how do you actually indicate that you found something?
You just click on it.
Oh, I see. So you use the cursor and you click right in the center of it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not like drawing a circle or just clicking right on it. Okay.
Right, yeah. You're just clicking on it, and unlike a bunch of the others where you circle it or but you just click on it, because that gives them a place to look for the remains of the dust particle.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And so I'm not going to show you more slides, because quite frankly, they all look pretty much like this. I was hoping to find one where I actually found a dust particle.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
But nope. There's a little bit of interesting stuff on here. About 80 microns is this right there.
Wow.
And this is the number of the slide. Now they call it movie ID. These are still frames. But throughout this, they're calling them all movies. I don't know why.
That's probably just part of the program.
Yeah.
Oh, serious question. Here comes. If I find something, is it named after me? Well, that's the thing, David. I guess you get to pick the name of the dust particle.
Right.
If you find one. I guess if you're the first one to find it, right?
Yeah, you name the dust particle.
And I guess if you choose your name, then it's named after you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So,
thanks for that.
And they also said that if any papers that come out regarding that dust particle,
right, yes.
You'll get named on the paper too.
Right. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
As a contributor.
All right, here we go. Another one. Cliff says it would take a lot of time to go through the whole thing. Yes, it would. I guess
That's why they're crowdsourcing it.
Yeah, and how did you figure out how many slides there were? I forget. Did they name that in that?
I saw it somewhere. I don't remember. It's on the order of 16 million.
Oh wow. So they need help.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't get that.
Okay, you're gonna have to tell us what you mean by that, Cliff. Yay.
Yeah, fossil.
Fossil. Is that a name or is that something that's been named? Maybe that's somebody's particle.
No, I think he's saying that Dave can name it after himself.
Oh, I see. Got it.
But so, and that's my last image from that.
All right, so we'll go back to us. And I did some looking too. I did read that about, and also I found. Let's see, is that it? Yeah, this is the page too. The information on there is kind of old, but it kind of goes into the what and the hows and the people involved. They have an about page for the people, and they show you kind of. It's sort of a wrap up of the mission, which in my mind isn't quite finished because, of course, they have to analyze everything. We have another comment, so let's see. To Dave, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Good one. All right.
Well, I figured either Cliff was dissing Dave or I was.
Oh, okay. Whoops, here we go. Oh, Dave found an answer. The discoverer of an interstellar dust up here. Okay. So I have to, Stardust at Home. Announcing the discovery of the particle. The discoverer will also have the privilege of naming the particle.
And it'll be a fairly exclusive list because so far they've only found 4 particles.
Right.
That are
interstellar particles.
Yeah.
Right.
Everything else has been from, the comet or local system stuff. But,
and I don't think that was the purpose that they set off to. I mean, they're going into a comet tail, but they were kind of looking for interstellar particles too, right?
Yeah, like I said, they popped the aerogel up twice in interstellar space also. So they're looking for interstellar particles also. But yeah, so I guess it was kind of, designed by committee. They, we want this, we want that. Let's use the same detector for both. We'll sort it out at the end. Okay.
Awesome. Well, if you folks have any other questions, please go ahead and put it into the comments area. We will check in periodically before we're done. But at this point in the show, we'd like to tell you the things that you can see in the night sky this week. And that includes May 7th through May 14th. So we're going to talk about the moon, which is 26 days old today. The new moon is on May the 11th. And there's something coming up. It's called National Twilight Zone Day. That's May 11th. And there's also spooky, huh? Have you ever heard of that before? And are you going to do some celebrating? I think that'd be a great day to do something fun.
I'll just say weird stuff all day.
Awesome. I love it. Well, that'd be a normal day for us, but okay. Of course, May 9th is Mother's Day. Please remember to call your mother if she's still around. May 10th, Uranus and the moon are in conjunction. And you'll find the moon early in the morning before sunrise that day. And, of course, Uranus requires optical aid. On May 11th, which is the new moon, Right, it rises. The new moon rises and sets pretty much the same way, at the same times that the sun does. On May 12th, Venus and the moon are in conjunction, and the moon is 1 day old, so it'll be very low and very small, and it sets in the west very early. Both Venus and the moon are normally easily seen naked eye. However, a 1 day old moon is pretty hard to see. What's on your mind, Christina?
Oh,
never heard of it.
And it just occurred to me, the moon is going to disappear on National Twilight Zone Day. Ooh.
See, normal day. Let's see. Did we cover Venus and the moon, the whole thing?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. On May 13th, Mercury and the moon are in conjunction. The moon is 2 days old that day, and it'll still be low and small and set fast in the west. And both Mercury and the moon are easily seen naked eye normally. However, a 2-day-old moon still might be kind of hard to see. And that wraps it up for me for the things you can see in the night sky, kind of the significant things. What is David asking us?
These citizen science projects should be introduced into schools. Does the U.S. do anything like this?
I think that would be great.
Yeah, not as a program. I'm sure that there are some teachers that that do it, but not as a program.
Undoubtedly, there are teachers that are doing all kinds of really cool things for the students in their classes. But yeah, this would be great. Do you live in the zone, Cliff?
Well,
all right.
Well, Dave has made comments about Queensland, so maybe.
I think we've heard that, yeah. Well, I'm so glad that all of you could join us, David and Cliff and Christina. And let me look. Who else is here? Alan, yes. All right. Alan Ford, awesome. Thank you so much for being here, folks. We really appreciate that. Yeah, thanks so much. We're getting good at it, I think. So, Jeff, why don't you take us home?
Okay. If you or someone you know has done something interesting involving space exploration, science, or astronomy, we'd love to share our live. Join us again next Friday, May 14th. We have another citizen science project. Think tank, maybe.
I found something. I have to figure out if it's really a citizen science project for you, but it's a Juno think tank, I think is what it is part of. And yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah,
so
live.
Which is better because the last time I looked at this script, it's a secret. So thank you for letting me know.
That was an in joke. Happy Women's Day. Thank you very much, David. I really appreciate that. And we do actually have a guest lined up for May the 28th.
28th.
Yeah. In fact, I taped the the conversation with him today. It's Dave Dickinson. Dave is a somewhat famous author. Yeah. He's got some really wonderful books out there. We talked about those a little bit and some of the maybe things he might be doing in the future. Yeah. So I hope you can join us on May the 28th for that. I'm going to have to edit that tape and run it. You know how you saw the ad a little bit before? It was only 6.8 seconds, but StreamYard, which is the platform we're using, gives us like a 10-minute limit on our videos. So we'll do some talking, and then we'll have the taped stuff with Dave, and then we'll come back and talk in between it, that kind of thing. So that's all new to us, and I'm going to see how it works with the editing. And
it's nice that we can tape stuff because we can get people that aren't up at whatever time it is in your time zone when we're doing this.
Yeah, it's like super late for Dave Dickinson when we're doing our live show, like midnight over there, and later, of course.
Yeah. The only real downside to it, go for it, is that you can't ask questions of them, and that's part of the fun of doing these interviews.
I think so too. I did talk to Dave. I said, hey, would it be cool to have, once we publish, to come in and answer any of the questions that you might have? So absolutely do ask. And
so we'll pass them on,
especially in the comments when it's live on like Facebook and YouTube, and we'll see about getting your answers to your questions. So yeah, that's one of my most favorite things about this, is that you can ask us questions and we can answer them, or our guests can answer them right here during the show.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. So see you guys next week.
Thanks so much.
See ya.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.